I want to start exactly with the theme that you have today, envisage, which is about envisioning, manifesting, and achieving. And I want to start with a very intrinsic question, which is, who do you want to be when you grow up? Now, I found this question as a child really intimidating, which I later found out that a lot of people do. But why does a question so integral to our existence, so essential to our life as human, have to feel so intimidating? Humans are wired intrinsically to create an identity. As humans, we find immense attachment to the work we do, not just because it may earn us a name and a fame, but because it becomes our identity over time. The profession soon starts representing us with all its glory and all its stereotypes. I had this little habit that I would often do as a kid. Well, sometimes even as a young grown up, when I was trying to figure out who I wanted to be, I would head to the last page of the book, which, by the way, I feel keeps our deepest desires and our darkest secrets. Try and remember your last page scribbles as a kid. And often it will be a peek into our subconscious mind, into what attracts us, into what interests us, what confuses us, and what matters to us. It's a delightful little secret box, the last page of any child's book. Well, coming back to my last page, every time a new idea of a new profession would interest me, I would write my name and right below it, I would write the designation just to see how it feels. Does my name sitting next to that profession feel familiar or alien? Does it feel motivating or exciting? Does it seem that my name will be friendly with this designation, or does it feel conflicting to the personality of who I am? It seems like an amusing exercise now that I look back, but for those few moments, it gave me a sense of what that identity could feel like. If I didn't like the idea of that professional identity, I would scribble it out. And if I did, I would let it be, sitting there, leaving my mind to ponder a little bit more till it felt right. But I realize now that accompanied with each zone of a profession also came a box. Every time I wrote down a designation, I somewhere felt like I was also putting my abilities and my talents in a box, restricted to the growth that that particular profession has to offer. Now, I have gone from being a practicing cosmetologist to a TV presenter to a speaking coach and an author. And I cannot say that each of the said designations is exclusive to the other. I often practice all within a week span, having enough time to achieve expertise in each. For most of us today, in the times that we live in, we have the liberty to design our lives in the way we want to. Minds have opened up. Acceptance for multi professions is far more appreciated than it was before. People who show interest in multiple fields are also known as multi potentialites. Oh, by the way, when I was typing this word out, multi potentialites, on my laptop, a red line appeared right below it because even Microsoft Word doesn't recognize it yet. It's not an official word yet, and it's probably still finding its way into the dictionary. And it's still okay if you are one. One thing that multi potentialites don't like is boxes. Boxes. We often like to put people in boxes. It makes it easy for us to understand them. But when we start doing that to ourselves, we feel restricted, stifled, trying hard to fit into people's ideas of that professional identity. If my life is a testament to any fact after the journey I've had, I can tell you that it wasn't a straight line at all. It was far from it. It was a bunch of exciting scribbles leading me from one point to another in a curvy path with no directions, no maps. And this is exactly how it is and will be for most of you. And I'm here to tell you it's okay. Our paths to realize our identity are often tweaked. And the only thing guiding us to realize if we are on the right path is our instinct, our will, our need, our desire to be something, to be a part of a profession that really fascinates us, to create an identity that you are proud of. You're not looking for things, my friend. You're looking for experiences, for enrichment in any form that amuses you, surprises you, and fills you up with wonder. And in the process, we hope that we give something to the profession and we'll be remembered for. Lines and scribbles. It reminds me of this cute little story or poem that I read a while back by Deborah Bogrick, where a line and scribble are actually competing with each other. Line goes straight on her way, while a scribble wanders. If a lion digs a tunnel, a scribble takes a ride on a roller coaster. If a line draws with a ruler, a scribble goes zigzag and dwells in dreams. And then the line says, "Hey, scribble, look at how straight my fur is." And scribble replies, "Hey, line, look at how fluffy mine is." So line elegantly combs her hair straight, and the scribble curls her hairs with style. Then line connects the stars in the sky, and the scribble shakes the leaves. If line tightens the electrical wires, the scribble bursts into fireworks. If the line walks a tightrope and yells, "Look at that short scribble," then scribble responds, "Well, watch me dance." And the scribble will twist and twirl and spin and dance and jiggle and bounce. It's amazing what a storm both line and scribble can create. You may well be a multi-potentialite, and if you feel stifled by this burden to do one thing all your life, remember, our paths are not meant to be a straight line. If there are three things I want you to take back with you today about making your identity, it is this. Number one, conflict. Conflict is our friend. Conflict is amazing, and here's why. Conflict reminds us that our basic internal values are not in agreement with what's happening outside us. It's a reminder to stop and review the situation and do what agrees with your inner compass. If your profession or work feels conflicting, makes you angry, or doesn't motivate you, it's a sign that you may be looking for something else, something more stimulating, more challenging, or something that matches your actual talent. We often react adversely to conflict, maybe with anger or regret, thinking of all the things that we could have done. Now, I can tell you one thing. You may make great progress in life, but if you often swing into "I could have" and "I should have" statements, then your progress is already half of what it could have been otherwise. Regret slows you down because it makes our mind busy into things that did not actually happen, making us miss our current and future opportunities that are very much possible. Convert conflict into an agreeable situation by finding a way, and you will realize what a good friend conflict can be. Number two, ability and intent are two very different things, but when they meet, it's fireworks. Now, my ability to do something, let's say dance, let's say be amazing, let's say I'm a great dancer. But if I do not have the intent to put my talent across on platforms that appreciate dance or that give me an opportunity to showcase myself as a dancer, then the ability is as good as zero. I often would read in the newspaper, where actors would share their stories of how they got discovered at a coffee shop. Now, it took me a lot of coffee shop trips to realize that things just don't happen. You have to make them happen. Only when I had the intent to showcase myself as a presenter, for example, did it actually happen. Another example, I was able to write well since my school days, receiving compliments for my English essay that I gently flowered with quotes by great people. And I was such a proud little teen, often waiting again to be discovered. Till I found my intent to want to be called a published author. And I focused all my energies on making it happen. Ability is one thing, but channeling that ability into intent is another. And that's what makes a success. Once you find your ability at a talent, channeling the intent into the respective profession will really make you come to a full circle to the satisfaction that you're looking for. Number three, talk about goals and visualize it. And this is the last one. The mind is a fantastic organ and the one that amuses me every single day. Did you know that our mind doesn't have the ability to differentiate between the memory of a real incident and an imaginary one? Which means that if I visualize myself, let's say as a speaker in front of 1,000 people, there are more chances of me accomplishing it, for my mind has already seen it. And I will start to believe that it's possible. Visualize who you want to see yourself as in that situation, as your glowing self. And after you internalize it with this simple secret, also externalize your wish by talking about it. You know how often we joke about ourselves in a derogatory manner, worried that we might jinx our own chances, nazar lag jayegi. Well, stop worrying about that. How many times has someone said, "You're really good at this," and then you shrug it off modestly and say, "Well, not that much. I try." Don't do that. You have worked towards that exact moment. So accept the compliment, make space to create more, and be intentional about it. Chin up, say thank you, and create more occasions that give you that swelling of pride in your chest, that manifestation of something that you visualized already in your mind. Your path may be a line or a scribble, and that is something you can sometimes not direct or decide in the moment. You follow your instinct, and in hindsight, watch the path that you created. And sometimes it may feel like it was a straight line all along, and sometimes it may feel like what a roller coaster you've been through, and both are okay. So next time someone asks you what you want to be, don't hiccup or hesitate, even if you're still figuring out. Tell that line or the scribble who's asking you that question that you are out to create a new identity that no one has ever seen before, and then watch it happen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was very, very inspiring. Um, it was honestly a pleasure just getting to hear you speak.
Thank you so much.
Moving
I
on.
had a fantastic time, and I hope I have been able to inspire even if one person by this talk. I think it will be a success. Make your own path. I absolutely love the theme that you guys have pulled out, because really this is the time when you have to prep yourselves that it's okay if you don't go by the paths that your seniors or juniors might be going, or if the people around you are going. I know how unnerving that is, because I've been through it. I was making a decision of jumping from medicine to media, which no one ever has done before, and it was scary as hell. But I did it, and now that I come out of it, I feel like it's a risk worth taking. It has given me an experience that I can share, and I don't have a regret, which, trust me, feels amazing.